They told me that that they'll release me from here if I plead guilty. Okay. If I don't plead the guilty plea, there's still a chance that they'll send me across the street. And if they send me across the street, then I'll be facing the charges over there. Yes, ma'am. I love you too.
Aaron, come on up.
I try to go straight, but driving's just my thing. I just like driving. That's what get me in trouble all the time. My whole life has always been taking somebody's car.
Since Aaron first showed up at Lake County Juvenile Complex 6 years ago, he's been no stranger to the folks at intake.
Yeah, this will be your last picture as juvenile.
Just days away from his 18th birthday, Aaron finds himself in juvenile court one last time. This time, he was picked up on a bench warrant from a neighboring town in Illinois, where he was facing charges of battery.
I missed the court date, I think, when I came down here. So I just forgot about it because it was just a little battery. I was fighting someone. I didn't even realize that I missed the court date.
To make matters worse, Aaron's still facing charges of auto theft and battery here in Lake County. Intake supervisor Deborah Clayton tries to impress upon him just how tricky his situation is.
Oh, New York. That was your 8th complaint. You have been detained with us 5 times, and you've been here for a total of 161 days.
Yeah.
You didn't know that? You were at placement?
Yes.
For how long?
9 months.
Then you were at Silver State? For how long?
15 months.
So what do you want the court to do with you?
Well, I want to go home, but it's probably not in the possibility right now. But I hope I can go home. If anything, give me a commitment here. Don't send me across the street, because if they send me across the street, I'm gonna have a felony, adult felony, and then my life is gonna be basically ruined if I get an adult felony.
Over there, they don't give a crap about rehabilitation. They're not going to want you to go to placements or get counseling, and they're not going to ask you what has happened in your life. They don't care. So at what point are you going to, like, let it soak through, maybe do something different?
Here in the juvenile court system, there are more options available to kids than there are in the adult system.
To be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, help you God.
I mean, the juvenile court was created to provide services to kids and families to make them better adults.
For 26 years, Senior Judge Mary Beth Bonaventura has been making decisions that are aimed at helping kids at risk get back on track.
They're coming back to our community. And so I want to do everything I can do first before I send them to the DOC or Department of Corrections.
Because Aaron is on the cusp of his 18th birthday and has charges of auto theft and battery pending, the stakes are much higher this time. Aaron has already been warned that the prosecutor's office is considering waiving him to the adult system.
I got a bad record, so I just bag him. I probably bag him to please don't take my life away from me. To me, that's taking my life away, because it'd be 3 adult felonies instead of just 1, because I have 3 pending.
Aaron has already admitted a problem with auto theft and high-speed chases, but his other vice, being an escape artist.
My staff called me to let me know that he was trying to be a trickster and had a detention officer bring him up Sunday night for the release for the weekenders. And our intake officer, Elizabeth, noticed that, no, he's not a weekender. He's not supposed to be leaving. And he tried to convince her, yes, I am. I'm a weekender. I don't belong here. I'm supposed to go home. I came in on Friday. I need to go home. My mom is going to be picking me up. I mean, he tried to really convince her. If for some reason staff let you walk out that door, they would be coming for me, and my job would be on the line. You got to understand the decisions that you make have consequences that don't affect you, but affect everybody else around you.
You tell a lie,
Stop
but it
being
wasn't my
slick.
fault. The staff made a mistake and put it in my paperwork.
Regardless, you knew you weren't a weekender. You knew you weren't supposed to be, you know, seeing freedom.
I understand.
Aaron's attempt to fly the coop at LCJC wasn't his first escape attempt. Recently, he tied his bed sheets together to escape the hospital room where he was being treated for stab wounds.
Getting stabbed.
Getting stabbed by who?
It was a while ago.
A long time ago?
I was liking this girl and she was liking me, but she had a boyfriend, and he cut me like 6 times, like right here on my forehead and on my chin and on my arm. The police was like, "Yeah, we're taking you to jail," and I was like, "What?" I'm the victim. I'm like, "Man, I'm not going to jail." So I tied a couple sheets together and climbed out the window.
But now the clock is ticking, and what's on Aaron's mind? Going across the street to adult jail.
They're trying to send me across the street and deal with my cases charge me as an adult, because they said I've been taking too many cars and I'm a menace to society and I belong behind bars. I think I have a decision-making problem. That's what I think I do, because like when decision comes, I know right from wrong, and I'll be like, "Oh yeah, that's wrong," but I just do what I like to do instead of what's right. I do what I want to do. Well, tomorrow is it's like a waivery hearing. They're trying to waive me across the street. It's like the tension is killing me. I just wish I knew what was going on. Like right now, I probably ain't gonna get too much sleep tonight because I'm thinking about the consequences that's for my actions. But I feel kind of anxious to know what's going on, and I feel kind of sad and I try to beat up myself because it's all everything I put upon myself. It's all my fault. Like my mom told me today, I just need to grow up and be a man. I'm just a big kid.
The closer kids get to their court date, the more mindful they become about their offenses and the seriousness of their situation. This was apparent with Aaron as well, evident from this clip from the first day we met him.
I can't stop getting behind the wheel. I was walking down the street and I seen somebody had left the keys in the ignition, and I took that car too.
You got a need for speed. It's not just a video game. People really need it. Need for speed.
Yeah, I've been to 2 high-speed chases. 3, 4. This just took me longer than what it was supposed for me to learn. I think I learned this time because I know the seriousness of my situation. I think I learned. I feel I'm gonna pray tonight, and hopefully God gives me this chance to get out, maybe on one of those little house arrest bands. Then I can work my way from there. 'Cause I know I can.
With only 12 hours before court, Aaron's neighbor Kenneth offers his form of support.
I'm 18 now, I'm ready to move on with my life and change, you know what I'm saying, make a different page. 'Cause I'm tired of this juvenile jail stuff, I'm tired of jail, period.
Good morning. How are you, Mr. Carl? I believe his attorney is going to speak with him.
Aaron learns that his attorney has established a plea deal with the prosecutor's office. If he accepts it, he'll stay in the juvenile system, but he'll have to admit to his charge. And if he declines, he's most likely headed across the street.
I'm going to talk to my mom, so I need some personal counseling. But I already know my mom's going to be like, "No, if you didn't do it, don't plead guilty."
Yeah, you've definitely got some soul searching to do to make a decision.
Hello? Hey, Mom. They told me that that if I plead guilty, they'll release me from here, no probation, no nothing. If I don't plead the guilty plea, that it's still a chance that they'll send me across the street. And if they send me across the street, then I'll be facing the charges over there. Yeah, 'cause I was thinking like maybe I'll just get it over with here and then go down there and see what they're gonna do down there.
At this point, Aaron is stuck between the easiest way to resolve his issue by admitting to the charge and resolving the case in the juvenile system, or following his mother's advice based on the principle that he should not admit to something he did not do.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. Yes, ma'am. I love you too.
Do you have any idea what you're going to do?
I wanted to go ahead and plead guilty and get it over with. But my mom never steered me wrong.
Unable to defy the only person who's ever been loyal to him, Aaron makes the questionable decision of declining the plea deal and facing the charge. If he really had nothing to do with the auto theft in this case, then he should have nothing to worry about.
What should I forward on to your attorney?
Not guilty.
He's the only person that can make that decision. You know, he can't let anybody else influence him, so time will tell.
Aaron's attorney must now consult with Aaron about his decision to turn down the plea deal. If he pleads not guilty, his entire case will come down to whether or not the police can present probable cause that he committed the crime.
The prosecutor's office is giving you this one-time opportunity to try to get this case resolved. Are you not clear as to believing that they have enough on you? Is that what the problem is?
Yeah, I know they don't. I didn't even do it.
Well, what the police officer is saying is that you basically fled from this vehicle and they chased you down, and that they were on a foot pursuit pursuing you that led to your arrest.
I don't even know nothing about. I came here.
Were you driving a white Expedition at any time around that time period?
No.
No, you never took off running.
Not
You're saying
true.
none of that happened.
None of that happened.
All right. Well, then I'll let the state know then that you're going to not accept the proposal that was.
Aaron's complete denial of wrongdoing seems implausible to his attorney and makes it a difficult case to argue.
And I'm willing to plead guilty to this, but I want to assure that I can get back here.
Well, you just told me that you weren't involved in any of this.
I know. That's what I told him. I told him I didn't do it.
Yeah, but I can't have you go ahead and make an admission.
With Aaron denying the charges against him, he leaves his attorney Nick Perko no choice but to return to the prosecution a decline of the plea deal. That leaves Aaron with little choice but to sit back and hope they can't make the case against him.
Well, it's an uphill climb, right? Just so you know. Sam?
I understand.
Okay. I'll be in touch.
With so much at stake and with so much legal process swirling around, no one's sure whether or not Aaron fully understands the implications of his choice.
Once you have an adult charge, you have no opportunity whatsoever of that charge going away, like you do with the juvenile charge, because you can file for the court to expunge it.
You're looking at two felonies right now at 17 years. Oh, you're 18 now, aren't you? So that's not a good start. If you accepted this resolution, what would end up happening is you get your life straightened out, go to school, get a job. You would show the court that I'm on the right track now, my life's in order, and then the court would consider that in its determination.
We're gonna tough it out.
I really feel good when I can help get a youngster on the right path, but unfortunately sometimes they're their biggest obstacle.
To complicate matters further, Aaron still has a pending charge in the neighboring state of Illinois. No matter what happens with his case here in Lake County, he still has to face the music across the state line. That, coupled with his conflicted feelings about his mother's advice, has him utterly confused.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised, actually. Most of the kids think they're grown at 13 and can make their own decisions without any parental input. So for him at 18 to be so concerned of mom's input it's kind of unusual.
I know what I wanted to do, but my mom never steered me wrong. Like I said, she always been on my side.
Although in general the juvenile system does work faster than the adult system, with some cases, complicated cases like Aaron's, days can turn into weeks, can turn into months. Aaron's now been in LCJC 60 days, and he's still not sure about what to do about the plea deal and whether or not he should take his mother's advice.
I'm ready to go home. I'm just ready to get it over with. I regret saying I'm innocent. I just want to get it over with.
Today is the last chance Aaron will have to stay out of the adult system by admitting his guilt.
All right, Aaron, you ready? Oh, let's do it. Kneel down, please. You know this is your waiver, right?
They told me if I plead guilty to something, they're going to drop something. I don't know.
Have you agreed to do that?
Yeah.
So you're plea bargaining it? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
Your mom's in agreement in that? No. Oh, she's not? But how's she gonna feel if you accept it then?
I don't know.
How do you feel about that?
I don't know. I'm 18. I gotta make some decisions by myself.
Yeah, well, I understand that.
Like I'm willing to make the changes for the better for myself. I'm not a bad kid like that. I just went down the wrong path and I'm ready to go the right way now. I'm gonna get it over with though. Just go here, stay here, and go there, whatever.
Okay, all righty. I hope it all works out for you.
It's better to get it over with. No more probation, no more restrictions. I can move on with my life, get a good job, and put this behind me, you know?
The closer Aaron got to court day, the more the option of admitting guilt and going through the juvenile system started to appeal to him. But that route faces one last challenge.
Your mom's out there saying, you know, she doesn't want you, so doesn't think she could have to admit anything. So, because she claims that you didn't do anything wrong, so it's up to you.
With only moments to decide, Aaron is still torn between what's in his heart and what his mother continues to insist he should do.
You said you wanted to move on with your life.
I did.
You can't keep doing this, dude. You gotta make a decision.
In a moment, the judge will probably just say, let's set up for a waiver, and I'm not going to accept any plea agreement. So,
Yeah.
so you got to decide now.
Mr. Berkeley,
Yes.
we got 2 minutes for the young man to make a decision.
All right, come on.
Okay. So are you doing the plea agreement then?
Come on.
Okay.
Okay. If they've accepted the plea, he's a lucky man. If they haven't, he's in for a long process yet to come.
Whatever Aaron decides, his decision will dictate the way his life goes for years to come.
And it's my understanding the parties have reached an agreement to resolve this matter short of the waiver hearing. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Ashburn, is this the agreement as you understand it? Mr. Ashburn, is this the agreement as you understand it?
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
Yeah.
I can't hear you, Mr. Ashburn. Can you speak up, please?
Yes.
At this point, Aaron's mother thinks he's accepted the deal, and she leaves the courtroom.
The record will note that his mother's left the room. Mr. Ashburn, you have some reluctance to enter into this agreement? Is there a reason why you're refusing to respond?
How would you feel if your mom walked out on you?
Sorry, sir?
How would you feel if your mother walked out on you?
Mr. Ashburn?
Aaron's inability to speak is interpreted as contempt, and the judge makes up Aaron's mind for him.
We'll reconvene on December 18th at 9 o'clock. Be prepared to go forward with the waiver. I won't accept any agreements.
The judge takes the plea deal off the table. Aaron's next hearing will be a waiver hearing, where the prosecution will make the case to hand him over to the adult system. But right now, that's not the foremost thing on Aaron's mind.
She walked out on me. She walked out on me.
Why? Was it because you took the plea? Is that what you think, dude?
It was.
She don't understand when you're in a trap. You gotta take risks and you gotta admit when you're wrong, man. And I was wrong. I did things that I shouldn't have did. And they're giving me opportunity and she don't understand. I just didn't know what to do, man. I was lost. And it made it even worse because I didn't have my mom's support like I always had my mom's support. It just made it even worse. And I just I don't know what to do, man. It's like telling me to choose something I couldn't choose. That was just the worst thing she could have ever did. She never did nothing like that before. I feel like if I ain't got my mom, I ain't got nobody.